Well, the National Association of School Governing Bodies says more must be done to regulate these street sellers. And I'm joined now by Mr. Matakanye. He's the Secretary General of the NASGB. Mr. Matakanye, first of all, a response. Steve Mabona saying in that package from SLE that it's your precinct as governing bodies around a school. You need to take control.
Good evening, Sally, and all your listeners. It is true that we take control of all the vendors in the school because we have policies that regulate the operations of the vendors. But the vendors that we don't have control over are those vendors that sell outside the school. And it is long time that we have called upon the local government to ensure that their bylaws are working. And in simple terms is that the local government must remove all the vendors around the school, outside the school, because we don't have control. We can talk to them.
Mr. Mabona is actually suggesting, sorry to jump in there, sorry to jump in there, sir, just a point of clarity. Mr. Mabona is actually saying that it's not just within the school that's your area of control. He says the whole precinct, in other words, the whole block where the school is. Do you agree with that?
As I'm saying that if he means within the school,
no, he means without as well.
Not the precinct, not the precinct, but within the school. That we are able, we don't control community. We don't really have, the law does not allow us to control community. The law allows us, we have only influence over community. Community is not only made up of the children that attend school in that school. The community is vast. And therefore, we are able to make policies that regulate any movement within the school. And as I said, we have the power over that. But look, present, how do we make the present? But look, we have an agreement with the liquor board. And the liquor board, they said, any tavern, any shebeen that could be opened must be 500 meters away from the school. That is clear. That is a law. Yes. That is clear. And we can, if then a tavern, we can go to that tavern and say, but you are not 500 500 meters away from the school. Why do you open? Then we can able to report that shebeen, that tavern to say, but this tavern is opened. It's not 500 meters away from the school. We want help. And I think, again, it's a question of the municipality. I mean, the question of the local government to ensure that now they control that.
Yeah, I hear you. And I too am aware of that rule that no liquor outlet is allowed to operate within a 500-meter radius around any particular school. To your knowledge, is there any bylaw or anything in law restricting or demanding that people who sell goods on the side of the street are subjected to strict controls if they operate near a school? Is there any such allowance in law?
You see, Sally, I will always see the traffic officials taking the goods around the shopping center, around the shopping center. And why are they not doing the same around the schools? But I'll see them going around the shopping center, taking the goods and taking them away. So it simply tells me that now they are not allowing these vendors to sell around the shopping center because they are not paying rent and all those things. So why are they not doing the same thing to our schools? Remove them from our schools.
Yeah, I hear you. In this particular case, do you have any more details for us? Because honestly, what came out of court this morning was really conflicting information. We're hearing reports from court that some of these children may have been forced to consume these muffins. Do you, for example, know how close these street sellers were to the actual school?
Well, our local National Association of School Governing Bodies told us they were near, but they could not really have measurements to say they were 2 meters, they were 3 meters, they were 20 meters away from school. But it just, and this thing, Sally, at times it is even not around the school. It's en route to the school. You'll see these vendors around en route for a child to school, and they sell sweets. Whereas behind those sweets, there are this type of things where they introduce our children to measure things. Like, for instance, they introduce them to dacha. They introduce them to drugs. They introduce them to liquor and all those, so that the market grows. You know, catch them young, so that when they are old, then already this thing is already in their system. Then they will support them. You know, and that's it. So that's why we are saying I think municipality must help us en route, because these people will sell where they see a lot of children walking towards the school. They'll put a stall just there, a stall of selling sweets or selling whatever, whereas they're selling strong things to these children. So we are asking, because as a school, we may not go as far as 500 meters and see these vendors selling there and remove them. You know, we may not remove them. They will talk of their rights and all those. But I think people who have got the right at the municipality help us, because remove this thing en route to school, remove these people around us.
Make a good point, because in fact, if they can clear vendors away from shopping centres, why can't they do it from around schools? At the same time, we've heard this utterly tragic story. These 2 children in Naledi and Soweto recently died reportedly because they ate biscuits bought from a spaza shop that were poisoned in some way. Now, this is not specifically linked to a school, but it does raise the question of food safety and our children. Do you think that we need better control regarding what food is sold at shops and on street corners, that we need better food inspection?
I'm talking of the local government. Why don't they have inspectors to inspect these other shops? They must have inspectors to inspect this. What type of food are they selling to the community? What type of food are they selling to the society? I mean, it's for our health. I mean, then it's the work of the local government to have inspectors, to inspect all these spaza shops, to inspect all these shops, the food that they are selling to us as community, to us as a society, whether they are healthy or they aren't, for our bodies and all those things. Who must look after us? I think it's government that must look after us. It is not. Look, for instance, things that are salted. We can't go there and these are our children who buy from those spaza shops. You know, these children. And in Naledi also are children. And the school governing body is not really responsible for that. It's the municipality that is responsible for that, to ensure that they inspect all these spaza shops, whether then the food that are being sold in that have passed the standards and all those things. It's not really our work as a school. It is the work of municipality to ensure that now we are protected. I mean, then our communities, our children are really not safe, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Matakanye. He's the Secretary General of the National Association of School Governing Bodies. Now, Steve Mabone of the Education Department in Gauteng saying that SGBs must take control. He's saying our governance and our control is limited really to the school gates. And all they can do, all that's in law, is about liquor outlets that are within a 500-metre radius. Beyond that, they don't have control. He says this is where local government needs to step in and start monitoring exactly what is being sold en route to schools. So he's calling for municipalities to pick this one up and to bring in bylaws, I suspect, that could manage this process.